We are going to continue the chapter, the Delhi Sultan. This is the third chapter of 7th class history. We are going to do part 3. We have done with the two videos, part 1 and part 2 in our previous video. Today the topic is what Minhas-e-Siraj thought about Razia. The topic is what Minhas-e-Siraj thought about Razia. But before discussing this topic, we will discuss our last video. In the last video, what did we understand? We understood that the author of Tariq and Tariqs advised the rulers to maintain an ideal social order, or we can say ideal social system. What was that ideal social system? The ideal social system is the division on the basis of gender distinction and birthright. It means they advised the rulers to make division, means male should be considered more superior to women. At that time, male was considered more superior to women. So Razia was a female queen, female sultan. So in this topic we are going to understand when Razia became the ruler, when Razia became the queen, what was the thought of Minhas-e-Siraj of that period, about her at that time. Are you getting my point? What we are going to understand? What in this chapter we have discussed that at that time male was preferred rather than the woman. So when Razia, a female became a ruler, then what was the thought of that people, or what was the thought of Minhas-e-Siraj? I am definitely sure two questions will become in your mind. Who was Razia and who was Minhas-e-Siraj? Firstly, we will discuss who was Razia. In the early Turkish dynasty, there were, I want to show you book. In the early Turkish dynasty, there were Kutubuddin Aybak. First Kutubuddin Aybak ruled over there. After that Shamsuddin Iltutmish. After that Razia. Razia was the daughter of Sultan Iltutmish, and she became the daughter in 1236. Okay. So what we can write? We can write Razia was the daughter of Sultan Iltutmish, and she became the Sultan in 1236. Okay. Now, who was Minhas-e-Siraj? Minhas-e-Siraj was the principal chronicler at that time. Okay. Or we can say he was the principal chronicler of Mamluk dynasty. See, principal chronicler, what does it mean? Chronicler means historian. Okay. Principal, why we are saying Minhas-e-Siraj principal chronicler? Because he was a very learned and experienced person. When history has been writing, at that time he was considered the principal of all the chroniclers of the historians. He was very learned and experienced person, that's why. Okay, now when Razia became the Sultan in 1236, then what was his thought? What was the thought of Minhas-e-Siraz about Razia? Minhas-e-Siraz thought that recognized the Razia more able and qualified than her four brothers. But still, he was not comfortable having a queen as a ruler. See, we'll read this line again. Minhas-e-Siraz recognized that Razia was more able and qualified than her four brothers. Razia has four brothers, but Minhas-e-Siraz recognized that she was more able. She was more qualified than her brothers, but still he was not comfortable. He means Minhas-e-Siraz was not comfortable having a queen or having a woman as a ruler. But he was accepting that she is more qualified and wise. She was more qualified and more able. But still, he was not accepting her as a ruler. Why he was not accepting her? Because she was a female. She was a woman. Okay, now see. Why he was not accepting her as a ruler? Because he thinks that queen went against the order of ideal social system, which is created by God. See, Minhas-e-Siraz did not accept her as a ruler. Why he did not accept? Because he thinks that queen went against the order of ideal social system which is created by God. Means he assumed that God has created ideal social order on the basis of gender distinction and the birthright. Means God give the preference to, God has created a creation at a column, a register in which only man can be preferred, not woman. So he thinks that queen means female went against this order social system which is created by God. So he thinks that Razia Sultan cannot be accepted, and he writes in his book, he writes, in the register of God, God's creation, Razia did not fall under the column of mans, then how can she have such an excellent qualities? See, he writes in his book, in the registers of God's creation, means God has created a register of his creation, and in that register Razia did not fall under the men, but still he assumed that how can she have such an excellent qualities, means he is praising her quality, but still he is not accepting her as a queen. Why? Because he thinks that God has created an ideal social order on the basis of gender distinction as well as birthright. So Razia did not fall under the column of man, so she cannot be a sultan. Means at that time was male dominating society. At that time people did not accept the female as their sultan, but still there were many female rulers. This was the thinking of Minhas Siras, but still there was also female rulers. Means Razia was not only a female ruler, female sultan, there was another female rulers also. Who were they? Let's see. First one was, I am writing story of Rudrama Devi. See, story of Rudrama Devi. She was also a female ruler, and she became the ruler in 1262 to 1289. Okay, see, she was the ruler of Kaktiya dynasty of Warangal. Okay, Kaktiya dynasty of Warangal. This was the part of modern Andhra Pradesh. This was a part of modern Andhra Pradesh. Okay, so what was her quality? Why she was very famous? Because she pretends her as a male sultan. Okay, she pretends her as a male sultan, a male ruler. Means she has changed her name in the inscription also. Okay, she pretended her as a male ruler. Okay, second thing, she changed her name on her inscriptions. Okay, next example, this was an example of Rudrama Devi. Next example is story of Dida. Story of Dida. She became the ruler in 982-1003. Okay, she ruled over Kashmir. Dida was the name derived from the word Didi, which means elder sister. Came from the word Didi, or we can say elder sister. She was given this name by her public, Because she loves her public, she supported her public always, so her public give this name in affection. Okay, with infection she get this name. So these were also female rulers who ruled over there. Razia was not only the female ruler. Okay, now the next topic is Garrison Town to big empire. See, from Garrison Town to big empire. Whenever you write a title, then we should always understand the title first. Okay, what the title is saying, from Garrison Town to big empire. So firstly we will have to understand the title. We have to understand the word Garrison Town. So what is mean by Garrison Town? Garrison Town, an area which is highly fortified and soldier used to live there. I am writing here, then I will clear. Okay, an area which is highly fortified and soldiers used to live there. Okay, so what does it mean? Garrison Town is an area which is highly fortified. What is mean by fortified? Fortification means kile bandi karna. Okay, sometimes they Delhi Sultans make a wall around the town, around the troop. So, and soldiers used to live there. Their soldier, their military base also always live there. Okay, I can clear these statements with an example. Suppose Delhi is here and the Delhi Sultan fortified this area by making a big wall, then this is a fortification of that area. Okay, so see, garrison is a collective term. Garrison is a collective term of anybody of troops stationed in a particular location. When a collective troop means sena, collective troop lived stationed, niyukt karna rehna, okay, stationed in a particular location, that is called garrison town. It is a military base, a town based on military base is called garrison town. So I hope you understood the term garrison town. Now what is mean by this title? From garrison town to big empire. Garrison town means a fortification of a particular location, okay, but it's saying Delhi Sultanate was not restricted to the garrison town, it expanded the big empire, okay, its expansion was very big, okay. So see, initially I am writing here, initially there were, or we can say the control, initially the control of Delhi Sultan was mainly restricted and no major control to the hinterland. See, what are they saying? Initially, the control of Delhi Sultans were mainly restricted. Means they have fortified the area. Then their restriction was, their control was only at this place. They don't have any control out of this. Okay. So initially, the control of Delhi Sultan was mainly restricted to and no major control to the hinterland. So here is a new word, hinterland. What is mean by hinterland here? The land, I am writing, adjacent to city or part which supply it goods and services. Okay, the land adjacent to hinterland is the land adjacent to city or part which supplied goods and services. For example, if Delhi is here, then the area which is live near the Delhi, that is their adjacent sites. So nearby the area, adjacent means nearby the area, the land adjacent to the city or part which supply it goods, which supply the goods and services to the Delhi, that is their adjacent area, that is hinterland. Now see the statement again. Initially the control of Delhi Sultan was limited. Limited to what? Limited to only Delhi. Limited to only Delhi. But there were no major control to hinterland. They don't have any other control to nearby cities. They don't have any control of other parts. So its control was very limited. Delhi Sultan, see, if the control was limited, then the Delhi Sultans have to depend the goods and for that goods and services to the hinterlands. See, the Delhi Sultanate dependent upon on trade, tribute or plunder. See, when there was no control of hinterland, thus Delhi Sultanate have to depend on the other cities for goods and supplies. Then Delhi Sultanate was dependent at that time for trade, vyapar karna. Tribute means how they can goods and services. Sometimes the ruler of another tribes are very happy with their work, so they tribute, they gives goods and services to the Delhi Sultan. Plunder means loot part karna. Sometimes they fight for the goods and services and then they supply. So in this way Delhi Sultanate was surviving, but in this way they were facing many problems because they have to depend for goods and services to the another cities, another adjacent tribes. Okay. So then Delhi Sultanate, when Delhi Sultanate were facing problem, the Delhi Sultanate thinks to expand their empire. But when they thinks to expand their empire, because they thinking like this, they facing some problems in the expansion. Okay, what was their problems? See, I am writing a line here. After that, we'll understand that line. See. See, controlling Garrison Town from Garrison Town of Bengal and Sindh was very difficult, from the Delhi Garrison Town. See, controlling Garrison Town of Bengal and Sindh was very difficult from the Delhi Garrison Town. Means the Delhi Sultanate did not have only one garrison town in Delhi. They have in Garrison Town in Bengal. They have Garrison Town in Sindh. Because they were living in the Delhi Garrison Town, so it was very difficult for them to maintain the garrison towns of Bengal and Sindh from the Delhi, because sometimes they have to move from the other cities or other tribes to reach there. Sometimes they face many problems. So what were the problems they were facing? First one was rebellions of locals and governors. Rebellion of locals and governors means, rebellion means vidroho, locals and governors, because the Delhi Sultanate was living in Delhi, so it was very difficult for them to maintain the garrison towns of Bengal and Sindh. How? First problem is rebellion of local and governors. Because they were living in Delhi, so they give the responsibility to the local governors that you have to maintain all the things. Okay. But sometimes they rebel means vidroh karna. Sometimes they did not do their work honestly, so it was creating a very big problem for the Delhi Sultanate, because they were not doing their work honestly, so it was a very big problem for the Delhi Sultanate. Then Delhi Sultanate thought that we have to expand the empire from garrison town to big empire. We have to expand our empire. Okay. Second problem was war. When war was happened, then it was very difficult to it was very difficult to fight from the Delhi to the Bengal and Sindh. So it was creating many problems. Third was bad weather condition. Bad weather condition which disturb communication. See, bad weather condition which disturb communication means it was very necessary, it was very essential to maintain the communication with the garrison town of Bengal and garrison town of Sindh if they want to move the things smoothly. So, but when the weather condition is worse, for example earthquake, for example flood, so it was very difficult to maintain the communication system with the other garrison town. So this was also reason why Delhi Sultanate was thinking to expand their empire. Okay. Next is Mongol invasion from Afghanistan. Mongol invasion from Afghanistan. There was an invasion, there was a tribe who came from China. Then at that time the Delhi Sultanate was very afraid, because they think that if they will expand the empire, it was very easy to fight against this Mongol invasion. Okay, so this was also a reason why Delhi Sultanate was thinking to expand the empire. Now we'll see consolidation of sultanates was very essential. See. Consolidation of Sultanate was very essential. See, Consolidation. Consolidation means इकट्ठा करना, मिलाना. What they want to consolidate? They want to consolidate the garrison town of Bengal and garrison town of Sindh with the Delhi garrison town. So this consolidation occurred at the reign of 3 sultans. First one was Ghiyazuddin Birbal, second one was Aladdin Khilji, third one was Muhammad Tughlaq. Okay, Ghiyazuddin Birbal, second one was Muhammad Tughlaq, and third one was Aladdin Khilji. So these were the 3 rulers at that time consolidation occurred. Now we'll see how they consolidate the empire. They consolidate the empire in 2 fronts, internal frontier and external frontier. This was all about today. We will study the internal frontier and external frontier in another lecture. Till then, watch the lecture again and again. Keep watching, and thank you so much. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you.